Hello, Cass. No problem. You gonna ask me a question? Or you're just gonna sit there. All right. My early career was like this. I found Night Warriors in 2009. I saw them on CP. I googled them. I found them on my own. It wasn't easy, or it was easy to figure out. It was common sense. When I saw them on Club Penguin, it was easy to see what they were doing. I found them. I was in them for a little while back in 2009, like I said, and I moved on to the Dark Warriors. I stayed in them for a little while. I got mod, and this was during the. I guess I was in Night Warriors for a couple of months. That was never really clear to me because I just forgot it was one of the most insignificant parts of my career. Um, so I moved on to Dark Warriors, and I was in them for probably a couple weeks because it was around the end of 2009 that I joined armies, and I was in Dark Warriors. I got mod there pretty easily, and then I quit and I started leading small armies. Um, I actually figured out that at first I used to think that Red Troopers was the first army that I ever created, but I figured out back in 2009, probably just before, or a little bit, yeah, probably just before Dark Warriors, I actually created this army called the Trojan Army, and that didn't last long. I fooled around with that for a little bit, and that's really where it all began, where my philosophy started to generate in my own mind. And then I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be the best, and I knew that I couldn't do it by fooling around in other armies. So I just decided after Dark Warriors that I would start leading, and that's when I created the Red Troopers. Never got anywhere, but that's where I really discovered myself as a leader, and my basic skills were building. And Vinny was actually leader of that army with me for a little bit. It never got anywhere. I can't recall it ever being on. It might have been on Smack. I don't know what position or anything. After that, after Red Troopers, um, I moved on to. I tried to get 3IC and UMA by merging it into UMA, and that's when I got banned there because I tried to force my way into it, force my way into the rank, and I started threatening everybody, and that's where I started hating UMA, and that's why I wanted to destroy them. And after that, I joined Team Gold back when Ace and I can't think of the other guy's name. That guy who usually led with Ace, some Goldfish, I don't know. That was back when Team Gold was gigantic. I was 4IC there for a little while. I kept trying to get owner. I actually created this group that was dedicated to making me leader, and that didn't really go anywhere. Mostly everything I ever did in my early career, I was just fooling around, getting a hold of what I was really trying to do, what I was trying to accomplish. And then what did I do after that? After Team Gold, I just kept leading small armies. I don't know in what order I did. I led them, but the most significant small army is probably NOD. That's when people started looking at me really. I led NOD the first on SMAC, and that was really when people started looking at me. I led it the first on SMAC with all of that in mind. What? Yeah, I was. I was ahead of my rivals back then. I really didn't. I really didn't look at people as rivals. Nobody has ever proved to be able to match me in what I do. Um, After NOD, I think I took a break from armies, and I didn't return until later in 2011, and I got leader in DCP. Or no, SWAT. SWAT was the first major army that I got leader in. I got leader in SWAT, and that didn't last long. Um, I kept just, it didn't last long because everyone just didn't accept what I was trying to do, what I was trying to accomplish with them. I just had plans for them. I wanted to make them a lot bigger than what they were. This was a point in SWAT when Ganger was constantly leaving and coming back, and he was just really inactive. Um, so I tried to take over completely, prove myself to everyone. That didn't last long, and then I just kept shifting through armies after I was separated from SWAT. I got leader in DCP. I think that might have lasted like 3 weeks or something like that. Um, and that was what I would describe as my early career. I started out small, and I slowly just started building up. That's really the summary of it. It's hard to remember all this, to just like spit it all out at once. But that's what I can gather, though. Next question. Painism. I don't even take that seriously myself. Uh, Painism. It's just people who are loyal to me because to be a leader in this community, you have to be a god. That's what it truly means to lead anything. Loyal. You can't brainwash someone over a computer. They choose to listen to you. It's not like real life when you can point a gun at them and make them do whatever you want. There's only loyalty in this community. There is no brainwashing. Next question. Because people like to prove that they can't be controlled. Nothing went wrong. It's just that I want it at the right moment. I have a plan to get it. I know I can get it. I can do anything. I already have. I can't explain specifics on it. You'll see when it happens. It's gonna happen pretty soon. The final months of my career. Next question. Well, I can answer that question in a couple of different ways. I was the first person to talk to Commando when he returned. I was on RPF chat at midnight, just sitting there by myself, and suddenly I saw someone with no ID come on chat. We have one of those like starter names that when you come on Exat for the first time, you have one like Bunny Mush or whatever. Um, he came on, and I can't remember exactly what the first thing he said to me was. It was something like it was just something like who's the leader now in RPF or something like that. Um, and I asked him who he was, and he told me he was Commando 717. And then we just got in this huge conversation, and I told him all about myself. I told him what I accomplished and what I was regarded as, and he was impressed with me from the moment he saw me. And then that's what led to me leading RPF with Elmiki for the first time. I uh, I took Red under my wing and Elmiki too. I taught them a lot of my basic techniques and strategies. Elmiki discovered the autotyper, and ever since then he's been using lower, less superior versions of my own methods. He leads very similar to how I would lead if I was in his position, but he's weak though. RPF was my biggest success. Everything that they are is directly from me. They're one of my many progenies. Next question. Define the current Army model. In 2007, armies started out as just being um, rogue groups. Well, actually, 2006 they were more rogue groups, but in 2007 that's when we started getting organized, obviously. And it wasn't even really organized because back then it was really only a kids game. There were no teenagers involved, and back then it was just run around on CP and throw snowballs. There was no rhyme or reason to it. And then we started developing the laws of CP warfare, and everything's organized. What we do now is sustainable. Things change and evolve for the reason that what is new is superior to the old. New things are superior to old things. That's just a fact. It's like to compare it simply, it's like saying an HD TV is better than an LCD TV because HD TVs have better picture. They're designed to be superior. New things are designed to be superior to the old. And that's why the way we do things now and the way we continue to do things, or if we change it to a superior way, that way will be superior. And that's all I can say about it. Next question. Yeah, that is safe to say. I don't want to be. I want people to fear me because that is why I changed my name from Bale Lion to Lord Pain. I wanted people to know that I'm their Lord and their Master and not anything else. I wanted people to know that I'm in control now and no one else is. They tried to kick me out of CP armies, but they couldn't because I'm above the people who they think are in control. I'm in control. I have been for a long time now. I don't want to be popular. I want people to know I'm in power. That's the goal of everything I've ever done. I would say that there is. The point of my existence here is to get the leaders of this community in control, not the troops. People think that troops are the reason armies are possible. But the First Army was ACP, sadly, and Oglethorpe created it, not his troops. Leaders create armies. Leaders recruit troops. Leaders are armies, not troops. And a leader must control his troops in order to maintain the army. Control, power, order. Those are what leaders need to remember every second of every day. And only then will they be able to sustain their army and guarantee their future. And that is why I'm here. No problem. Next question. There were, there were, but everything I've ever done has been a plan that I've had for years now. The biggest obstacle for me was probably getting over the end of my career in the Golden Troops, because that was the army that really defined me and defined my major army career. That's where I really started gaining some of my more advanced skills in leading. That was my biggest obstacle. But over the course of my whole career, the point of everything has been, the point of moving through so many armies, leading all these armies, has been to learn the methods of the other leaders in the community as far as recruiting, strategies, tactics, diplomacy. That's it. That's been the point. I, I've created more advanced versions of the greatest legends in this community. Their methods superior in every way. Yes, I did state that. I would support it only if I'm in it and being the main person in control of it, because then it would be more successful than it's ever been. Otherwise, anyone else would be too weak. Whether people want me to or not, I'm the strongest person in this community. No one has ever seen sizes like what RPF has gotten since I taught its leaders how to do what they're doing and how to make that possible. People think it's Elmicky, but it's me. I'm the one who made that happen, not him. I've caused a rise in every army that I've ever become a part of. It's undeniable. I have so many pictures of it. I have well over 415 pictures of my success with armies. He didn't steal my success. I wanted him. I wanted that to happen. I wanted him to gain that power. Because if there's more people like me, then only more will be created. The domino effect. I want people to be like me, to taste real success, to be a real leader, because that's how this whole community is going to survive. Only if there's people like me. Really, I'm like the Batman of this whole thing. Yeah, I plan on AI to be my last army. I'm proving to people now that everything I've ever done, anyone who's ever think that they've gotten one up on me, that they're wrong. I can stay in an army. It's a matter of choice. No one's ever really beaten me. Every army I've ever led, every war I've ever been in, has been my victory. I've had a few losses because I've allowed my enemy to beat me. Shit, someone's fucking texting me. Fuck. Okay, I'm back. Like I was saying, people think that I can't stay in an army, but it's only because I allow people to remove me that I've ever been removed. I've been doing all this, constantly switching armies, so that in the end, I would have the skills of all the legends, but in far more advanced versions, versions created by me. Versions meaning their tactics, their strategies, their recruiting methods. I have all the recruiting methods of the best recruiters in CPRs. Roberto, Ganger, Icy Feet, Saw, anyone who's ever recruited. I have their method. Yeah, I'm better than all of them. I could do anything. There's no limits to what I can do. But a great leader doesn't reveal everything that he's capable of. And I could sum that all up, what I mean by that, with another quote that I have. A true God does not simply wipe out his enemies, as gods do not waste their time on those lesser than them. A god does not control the destiny of those around him. He only manipulates his enemy's destiny by creating obstacles for them, to lead them down a path to their own destruction. I don't need to show the community what I can do all at once. A good leader in this community doesn't do that. If I just spent all my time constantly recruiting people, then people would start watching me. Like Elmkey, for example, he throws every weapon he has straight at his enemies, and that's a mistake, because that weapon can become theirs. When people are recruiters, they get spied on, and then other armies learn their methods. That's why every single goddamn army now is using the autotyper. It's Elmkey's fault. He reveals everything he has. You have to be nonchalant in everything you do as a leader. You have to keep your secrets your secrets. And for those of your apprentices and those who come after you, they're the only people who can be allowed to know about it. Everything you do as a leader has to be kept secret. Your power has to stay your power. Otherwise, it's everyone's. And that's why no one will ever have my power. It's mine alone. Next question. Um, yeah, I do. That's the only thing I can really say about that. I'm going to destroy them. ACP is going to be gone when I'm gone. Next question. I would say everyone's arrogant. When you can't be defeated, that's just arrogance. but everyone can be defeated. There are times when I've been beaten temporarily. There are, but even gods are defeated. Even gods make mistakes. To be invincible is not to never be defeated, and it's not to never make mistakes. To be invincible is to learn your own weaknesses and cover them, and then learn the weaknesses of your enemies and use them to destroy them. Anyone who's ever gotten the best of me at any point is only destroyed in the end, because I am invincible by my own definition. Next question. The only thing I can really say off the top of my head, well, let me start by saying this. Any question I've answered for this interview, it's just stuff right off the top of my head. It's different if I was just typing out like my whole biography for everyone. But off the top of my head, I can only think of certain ways to answer these questions. And that's completely what this interview has been consisting of on my part. But anyway, words of wisdom. This is for all leaders. Control the people under you, or be controlled by them. And also, people are going too far with the wars in this community. These world wars, it's all because of ACP. In the end, no matter what anyone's agenda is, it all comes down to who their real target is. Because every war, there's always another motive for it. There's always another reason behind it. Everyone's got a target, and then everyone's got a true target. You always got to have a strategy, and you just got to calm down, and you just need to realize that whatever you do not only affects your own army, but it affects the entire community. And that's why ACP can't exist. They've created every world war, and they've taken away fun rivalries from this community. They've created a community that's trying to destroy itself. And that's why for every action, there's an equal or opposite reaction. And my equal or opposite reaction to them is that I'm going to destroy them. And then that's it. No problem.